go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under this seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So we'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Alright, we are going to be going from JFK to DCA on this one to DC. Now, the one catch that I really like using on my flights, but we're not using it on this flight, is I love my Traffic Global. But we can't use it. I've had some recent crashes, so we're going to have to take a break from it. And I hate it because it really does add life to these airports, and I mean a lot of life. So I hate not using it. I have uninstalled it one other time and done the same thing. Had to go back later and reinstall it, but I just don't have a solution right now to make it work. So and the log.txt doesn't lie. So QNH is 3005. Okay, and It's a really neat airport, by the way. It's neat. Just clear, just crystal clear, crisp graphics. Looks really good. All right, let's get set up. In it. Okay. Great. Pull that down. And performance. We're going off 22 right. Which gives us 145. A rotate of 145. And a V2 of 148. Flaps are up. .1. Flex is 58. And that's good. Departure. Just simple. So 22 right and JFK. That's it. This discontinuity we don't need. Like clockwork. Okay. Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
Steve, I'm only rated to handle IFR related comms for now. You'll need to handle the VFR comms.
Brian, get our IFR clearance.
I'll get our IFR clearance.
Kennedy clearance, Delta 7673, requesting our IFR clearance, please.
1 second while I grab the paperwork. Delta 7673, cleared to Reagan. Radar vectors Robbinsville. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 28010 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.7 squawk 2552. Expect runway 22 right.
have got called away there to take care of something. Okay. So we're 5,000. We're squawking 2552. We're good. Right, and we're already loaded. I'm going to go ahead while I'm here and put my arrival info in. We're coming in on ILS 01.
Request IFR to Barcelona.
So we're coming in on ILS 01, and let me see if I need to change anything. I don't think I do. Yeah, we're good. Clipper 3 and MXC. Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
I'm now in charge of all comms, Steve.
Right, we're coming out on 22 right. It's really convenient because coming out on 22 puts me like in perfect position just to, we don't have to make a transition and we just keep going. Good. Right. Brian, can you get our pushback and start clearance?
I'll request pushback and start clearance.
Have to do that different.
Kennedy Ground, Delta 7673, requesting clearance for pushback and start. We have Tango.
Delta 7673, pushback and start approved. Tail north. Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
It is kind of quiet right now.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, no frills flight. We're not going far either, really. It's about 184 miles to DC. So it's a pretty quick flight. We're getting pushed back and start now. We've already got all of our McDo information loaded, so we're good to go.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all calls. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down.
Alright,
Stay seated with your
ground
seatbelt
spoiler
fastened
arm.
when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it
Flaps
fastened
are
whenever
on
you're
one.
seated in case of sudden rough air.
Ignition
In
off.
the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for
Auto
safety.
brake is set to
We
max.
appreciate your understanding.
Operation
if our
complete.
service is
Set parking brake.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions,
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
Brian, can you
It's
get our
unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes,
taxi
oxygen masks will drop
clearance?
from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen.
I'll get our taxi
Remove
clearance.
any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary.
Oh, it's disconnected. Bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation
Delta
is also
7673,
unlikely.
runway
But just
22
in
right,
case,
taxi via
life
Hotel
vest are in a
Bravo,
compartment
Bravo
beneath
Hotel.
or adjacent
Hold
to
short
the
of runway
seat.
4 left,
Teams
then
remove
Yankee
the vest from
Foxtrot.
its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lap children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest. Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Alright, and it looks like we're making a left up there, but I think we keep going straight. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it does do a little crook. It does. Right. Brake is on right now, and we're resetting the chronometers. Auto brake is set to max. Ground spoiler is armed. And flaps are set to 1. We're going to test our config. And we'll get a normal message. Okay. Alright. Put us a panel there. Brian, we're ready for our takeoff clearance from runway 22 right. We're holding short.
I'll get our takeoff clearance.
Kennedy Tower, Delta 7673, holding short of runway 22 right, ready to depart.
Delta 7673, Kennedy Tower, runway 22 right, winds 190 at 13, gusting 19er. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 22 right, runway heading cleared for takeoff. Delta 7673.
All right. We're at 22 right. We're cleared for takeoff. We'll be going from KJFK to KDCA. Short flight. It's about 3 miles. And this is a Nimbus KJFK Airport. Well done, really well done. Flex. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Autopilot is engaged and flaps retracted.
125.7.
Switching to departure on 125.7. Delta 7673. Kennedy departure, Delta 7673. Good evening, we're climbing past 1,000.
Delta 7673, Kennedy departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 280, turn left heading 210, vectors to Robbinsville. Then as filed.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude,
Climb and maintain flight level 280.
thank you
Left
to
heading
each of you.
210, vectors
And
to
welcome back to our
RPC, then as
SkyMall
filed.
members and
Delta
medium others.
7673.
Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off,
All right,
please keep your seatbelt
and
fastened in case
we're
you experience any
already lined up for
unexpected
RBV. The minute we took off,
We ask that you
it's
also please remember to use caution
nice.
in
I didn't have to
opening
make
the
hardly
overhead
any adjustments.
to
Yeah.
prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
Right,
Beer, wine, and
280.
spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 50% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases.
We're changing one thing. It's trying to get us to come in on runway 19, but I really want the ILS runway 01. And since we don't have a whole lot of extra traffic in the air, we're gonna land on 01.
Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know. They are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
All landing lights are off. One thing I've messed up on this flight, and fortunately it didn't impact anything, is I left the APU on for takeoff. Shouldn't have done that. Saw a little bit of precip there, but I think that just may have been in the cloud. We need to go ahead and prepare for arrival. So our VREP is 142. QNH is 30.04. Temp is 23. Winds are 190 at 8 miles per hour. 8 knots. 8 knots.
0.975, Delta 7673.
We're in the cloud right now. That's where the precip's coming from.
Kennedy departure, Delta 7673. Good evening. We're climbing to flight level 180, aiming for flight level 280. New York Center, Delta 7673. Evening. Climbing to flight level 180 for flight level 280.
Delta 7673, New York Center, good evening.
Okay. Wow. We're 145 miles out. That's it. Altimeter to standard. He's still in the window. He's in bed. Good. A little bit more precip. I think that, like I say, I think we're in a cloud right now. I think we're can't see it on the map, but I think we're in a cloud. We're about to hit top of climb. We're almost there. we're not going to be stuck in a cloud. Alright, we're about to level out at 280 here. Alright.
Delta 7673, New York Center, contact Washington Center on 135.45.
Contacting Washington Center on 135.45, Delta 7673. New York Center, Delta 7673, evening, maintaining flight level 280. Washington Center, Delta 7673, evening, maintaining flight level 280.
Delta 7673, Washington Center, good evening.
Can't see a thing outside right now.
Delta 7673, Washington Center, descend via Clipper 3 into Reagan, altimeter 3005.
Descend via Clipper 3 into Reagan, altimeter 3005, Delta 7673.
I love it. Love. It's just up and down, just that quick. Okay. We are already descending on the Clipper 3 arrival.
That's great. As you're descending on the Clipper 3 arrival, make sure to monitor your speed and altitude closely. Keep an eye on the altimeter setting, which is currently 30.05. Remember to configure the aircraft for landing as you approach the final stages of the approach.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
Roughly. And we do have a transition once we're going to pass the airport on our right and come in for a transition to Cattern. That'll be our final approach. Alright, we're on a managed descent into DC on the Clipper 2. Actually, it's Clipper 2 arrival. Our auto brake's already set for medium. Ground spoiler is armed, and we will eventually be at full flaps for our approach. VREF is 143. back through the cloud again. See some lightning there? Lightning. Wow. We're 80 miles out, but we're actually further because of the transition, which is fun. Monitoring speed and any sort of turbulence. Right now that looks fine. What I like about even the descent right now is even in the clouds, I'm not getting a fluctuation in speed or anything. Everything's staying consistent. What's it look like out there? Not worth even putting this windshield wipers on. Alright, we're 58 miles out, but we have the transition that's forthcoming.
7673, contact New York Center on 133.175.
Contacting New York Center on 133.175. 175, Delta 7673. New York Center, Delta 7673, evening, descending to flight level 200.
Delta 7673, New York Center, good evening.
I think we're going over Baltimore right now. So this should be Baltimore. It's all right. Back to off of standard. And QNH is 3005. Okay.
Delta 7673, New York Center. Contact Washington Center on 134.5.
Contacting Washington Center on 134.5, Delta 7673. Washington Center, Delta 7673, evening, we're descending to 17,000.
Delta 7673, Washington Center, good evening, Reagan, altimeter 3005.
Got it.
Altimeter 3005, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, due to the weather, we are requesting IFR for our arrival.
Delta 7673, speed 250 knots. Give me 1 second for that clearance. Delta 7673, cleared to Reagan, direct Baltimore. Then is filed, squawk 2552.
Cleared to Reagan, direct BAL, then is filed, squawk 2552, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, due to the weather and visibility, we're requesting runway 01. We need an ILS runway.
Delta 7673, contact Potomac approach on 119.85. 6,000 feet. Baltimore altimeter 3004. Descend and maintain 6,000. Clear direct Baltimore.
Delta 7673 unable on runway 19. We request 01. We need an ILS runway due to low visibility.
Washington Center, Delta 7673 evening, descending from 15,000 to 6,000.
Delta 7673, Potomac approach. Good evening, Reagan, altimeter 3004. Expect the RNAV Yankee runway 19er approach into Reagan. Delta 7673, runway 01 is not available. Runway 19er is the only active runway. ILS approach is not available. RNAV approach to runway 19er is in use.
Altimeter 3004, expecting the RNAV Yankee runway 19 approach into Reagan. Delta 7673.
We are ignoring him. We're going to come in on runway 01.
Turn right, heading 260 vectors for the RNAV runway 19er approach.
Right, heading 260 for the RNAV runway 19 approach. Delta 7673.
Delta 7673 unable, need runway 01 ILS.
Delta 7673, runway 01 is not available. Runway 19er is the only active runway. Continue approach to runway 19er RNAV.
Alright, I know what he's saying, that 19 is the only available runway, but we're coming out of runway 01. I'll just have to make a phone call. Or copy a number. We need runway 01. I know that there are reasons why KDCA does not have multiple ILS runways, but yeah, if you're not coming in on 01, you're not going to get an ILS runway. Alright. Bringing up landing lights. Can't see anything out there. Alright, we're turning on to our downwind.
Turn right, heading 320.
Right, heading 320, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673 unable. We need runway 01 ILS due to visibility issues.
Delta 7673, runway 01 is not available. Runway 19er is the only active runway. RNAV approach to runway 19er is in use.
Stubborn. This is a custom. This is a custom airport from Thai Models for KDCA, and even the city is actually custom scenery. Pretty well done. I think they did a good job. Alright, we are on, like I say, downwind. We will go down to Cadvia, and that's when we turn back, and we'll come set up at Cattern. Cattern's the final approach.
Delta 7673, turn right heading 345.
Right heading 345, Delta 7673.
Alright, we're about to go to flaps 2. Oh, hey, Jesse. Sorry, I missed your thing there. Let's see, what you got? Okay. Makes, hey, I guess there must be something in that beta that it's just like with some of my plugins, but I'm glad you got it back to stable.
Delta 7673, turn right heading 345.
Turning right, heading 345, Delta 7673.
So Jesse, where are you flying next? Now that you finally got all the bugs worked out of that beta, or you just went back to the stable earlier version, I assume. All right, we're about to turn onto our base and then final for runway 01 at KDCA. I'm ignoring ATC. They're trying to get me to come in on 19 RNAV, and I'm just prefer the 01 tonight. So we're about to make our turn here. We actually are a tad high. We need to be down to, for Cadvia, we really need to be about 5770. Oh, we're about there. We're about there. We'll make it. Very slow and deliberate descent. So we should be at about 57, 5070, 770 at Cadvia, and then we'll make the base turn and turn on the final for Cattern, and but by then I should have captured a localizer. Big turret coming. Cool. I need to fly out of there. I've not flown out of I don't think I've ever flown out of Dubai. I don't think I have. Crud, where'd that come from? Just dumped on us.
Delta 7673, turn right heading 345.
Right heading 345, Delta 7673.
Just being very careful on this turn for whatever reason. We're 28 miles from DCA. Turning around here for our final. Runway course actually is about I think 07. I think 07, yeah. But runway 01's actually 07, I think. And approach is activated. This is a rough night, kind of a rainy night. I didn't see that coming though earlier. It's not on my map. I'm trying to think if I've done Singapore, Jesse. I have to try it. I have to try that. Dubai actually has some Nimbus custom scenery also that I may end up having to give in to. Yeah, I'll have to try that. Hong Kong and then Singapore. Yeah. Alright, we're all lined up on the localizer, and let's see if we can capture the ILS.
Delta 7673, turn left heading 330.
Turning left heading 330, Delta 7673.
Alright, we're still 22 miles, 21 miles out, so we won't be dropping our gear for about another 10 miles. Alright, looks like the weather cleared up. Alright, we are stable approach. We're lined up on the localizer and just waiting to come up under the isn't it? It's kind of oh yeah. So I worked with that one. I like the I use ABC for some of the ABC plugin. It seems to work out good for the views. It's not as fancy as I think what is it, X camera, but it gives you just enough, you know, and it kind of frames your shots, frames your views. It's nice. Alright, let's see if we can come in here for a nice one. See how close we are to capture. We're about 14 miles from DCA. Runway 01 DCA.
left heading 330.
Turning left heading 330, Delta 7673.
He's still fussing at me. Right, we're about to drop gear. The night lighting is like, compared to what it was like several renditions ago, versions, they have been doing an amazing job, and I think that's what separates it from Microsoft Flight Sim. I think their night lighting, it looks real, it's more believable. Alright, we're almost captured. We're about there. Got it. Okay. So about to come over the bridge. And of course there's the infamous runway 33 right there.
2000. American 545, contact Reagan Tower on 119.1.
There's the White House right there.
Delta 7673, turn left heading 330.
Turning left heading 330, Delta 7673.
Auto breaker set to medium. Ground spoiler is armed. Flaps are full.
1000.
And checklist complete. Okay, 1,000 feet. Yeah, they do such a good job on this airport, on this city, like DC.
Hundred above. 300. Minimum.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Retard. 5. Retard. Retard.
Alright, let's get that front gear dropped.
fasten until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit Delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles accounts. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a uniformed Delta agent leading this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of the Delta Sky team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-check and all call.
All right, we're at the gate. Yes, yeah. I'm sorry, Jesse. Say Intentions are doing every. Oh, okay. I'm confusing you. The flight attendant that you're hearing on this flight is the Delta Virtual ACARS system. So, since this is a Delta flight, they provide an entire flight crew, including all the announcements that you would get if you were on an actual Delta flight. And now if I'm flying on Frontier or on Alpaca, then I use the Say Intentions cabin crew. But the ATC is all Say Intentions on this. Okay, get that going. Alright, we'll bring down the engines. Alright, let's bring down the lights. That's cool, kind of cool. Right. Yeah. So, black box virtual is what Delta. If you fly on the Delta virtual system, and this is where this comes from. And then they see we haven't. I'll finish out this power up here. It always knocks off part of for the score if you're not on VATSIM, and I wish that they would put a stipulation in there or put an exception for Say Intentions. Okay, we'll send that on. Okay, let's take this one back out. If you don't have like this, the black box virtual is the one that did the announcements on this flight. But if you have a bunch of other choices for your flight in Say Intentions, and it actually caters to whatever airline you're flying for. So. Let's see if we can do a quick replay.
Delta 7673, turn left heading 330.
Turning left heading 330, Delta 7673.
I can't find a livery that works as good for me. There we go. All right. Yeah. I can't find a Delta, the traditional, just the regular Delta livery for the Toliss A321 Neo that works. Everyone I've tried, I haven't found one. So the only one that works is this Skyline livery, which I like it. It's nice, but I can't find the other one. I can't find the regular one that works. Oh, thank you. That's all right. By the way, this airport, I can't say enough for it. It's they did such good work. This is a Thai model airport. And they really went out of their way to do a good job on this. It looks really good. And there's two parts to this custom scenery for this one. There's this part. And by the way, the people are kind of cheesy. They could fix that. But also, they did the city. So there's two files when you download it, and the other one is the cities, other part of the DC city, and they worked on making good monuments. And I'm not saying that they're not like super, but like when you go to Jefferson Memorial, I expect to see Jefferson, so he's in there. You've got the Washington Monument, the White House over here. So you've got the White House, and you've got the Lincoln Memorial. Complete with Lincoln on his chair there. Water looks good here. They did a good job on that. This is all a part of the custom scenery. And then there's all the Smithsonian, all the museums, and of course the water. and then the Capitol. So they did. I mean, they went out of their way to try to do a good job on this. So it looks good. And it's about as real as it can get. I've used to fly out of this airport a lot when I was doing defense contracting, and it was but it was cool to always see the monuments. All right. Well, hey, have a good night, man. I'm hitting the hay, but hey, you have a good night, and I hope you get to fly somewhere tonight or tomorrow. I'm serious. All right, man.